Okay, let's jog my memory for question number 5. It says Donovan flips a coin and 96 times was his total. How many times should he expect the coin to land on heads? Well, if you flip a coin, half the time you should land on heads. The other half you should land on tails. So that's where this 1/2 came from. I made a proportion. 96 was my total. And then I divided 96 by 2 because I cross-multiplied and divided to solve my proportion. Then it went on to say he flipped it 50 times. Of those 50 times, 32 were heads. So 32 out of 50 simplified to 16/25. And then 18 were tails. 18 out of 50 simplified to 9/25. So it asked, based on his results, if he flips the coin an additional 75 times, how many times should he expect the coin to land on tails? Why are you talking? Excuse me? Okay, well, your papers should be on your desk. That way you won't have to worry about his hand. That's something y'all could have solved without interrupting my lesson. Okay, they want the tails question or the tails situation. So experimentally, they got tails 9 out of 25 times. We want to know about the next 75 times. How do we get from 25 to 75? Times 3. If we apply the do-do rule, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 9 times 3 would be my answer. Write it down. Moving on to number 6. Lee's history teacher states in the beginning of the year that he randomly gives pop quizzes one day each week. To test his statement, Lee records which day of the week a pop quiz is given for 9 weeks. What is 9 weeks? A total. Based on the results, how many times can Lee expect to have a pop quiz in history on a Friday for the remaining 27 weeks of school? Okay, I need a what? What's the chance of getting it on a Friday?
4 out of, you have to add them all. So it'll be 3, 5, 9.
I already knew it was 9.
Oh.
So what's the chance of it happening on a Friday?
4 out of 9.
4 out of 9. So now what?
Put it in the proportion.
4 out of 9 goes in the
And
proportion.
you put the 27 in the bottom.
And then they're asking about 27 weeks. And how do I solve?
Cross multiply and divide.
Cross multiply and divide. Do not shout out any answers. I will end up with 27 times 4 divided by 9, and that will give me my answer. Number 7. Okay. You done writing this down?
No.
You already know what to do. Marcelo spins the spinner shown 48 times. What's 48? A total. The table shows the results of his spins. Circle the statements below that accurately compare the theoretical probability to the experimental data. So theoretical is what should happen.
Yes.
This is what did happen.
Yes.
So if the statement is incorrect, rewrite it to be correct. All right, so this is experimental. What happened? He spun red how many times?
20.
But what was the total?
Okay. 25, 39, 40.
They've already given us this total. How many times was red spun?
20 times.
Out of?
48.
20 out of 48. Thank
So
you.
simplify that. So it'll be 10 over 24. We simplify that again.
10 over 24.
Then it'll be 5 over 12.
Good. 5 over what?
12.
For the white. 5 out of what?
48.
5 out of 48.
You can't simplify.
6 out of what?
48. 8. It went over 8.
1/8. And 17 out of?
48.
Okay. theoretically, what should happen? How many times should I get a red?
1 out of 1.
20 of 8.
How many? No. Looking at the spinner, how many pieces are in the spinner?
Oh, it's supposed to be 4 out of 8.
How many pieces are in the spinner?
8.
8 pieces. How many are red?
How?
Half of them. So 1/2 or 4/8. How many are blue?
1, 2,
Out of,
8. So
guys, I need the whole
4.
fraction.
1, 4.
White.
1, 8.
What color did I miss?
Green.
Green.
1, 8. Did you do blue?
Yep. B. 1, 4. Okay. Theoretical probability. That means I'm looking over here. Let me help y'all out. Theoretical is in the yellow box. Experimental is in purple. So, theoretical means I'm looking at the yellow box.
Yes.
Theoretical, 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 theoretical. And then experimental is purple. Purple, purple, purple. Okay?
Purple.
The theoretical probability of spinning a red is greater than the experimental. What's the theoretical of getting a red?
1, 4.
And then what's the experimental?
5, 12.
How do I compare 1/2 and 5/12?
And 5, the 12, the 2 is going to be greater than the 12. Like the least number, like 1/2 is
Mathematically, how do I compare fractions?
the least common denominator.
I don't have to do that. How did y'all compare fractions in 4th and 5th grade? You should know because I taught it.
You're supposed to multiply the 6 over the 6 times 6.
I don't have a 6 over here.
Not to make the
Nope.
equal to the
12
number.
times 1 and 5 times.
Thank you. You cross multiply. This is the butterfly method. 12 times 1 and 5 times 2. 12 times 1 is what?
12.
12. 5 times 2 is what? 10. The alligator eats the 12. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes, this is correct. Okay. Theoretical probability of spinning a green. What is that? 1/8 is less than the theoretical or the experimental probability. What was over here?
1/8.
1/8.
Equal.
Is this true?
No.
No, they're what?
Equal.
Good. No, they are equal. Ma'am, pencil. Okay, next one. The theoretical probability of spinning a blue. What is that? How many times should they get a blue? 1/4. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Is equal to the experimental of blue. What was blue experimentally?
7.
Were these equal? No, because I couldn't simplify 17/48 to get to 1/4. So who's greater? No, the experimental is greater. Yes, it is, because if I cross multiply, this is 48. 17 times 4 is 4 times 8, 68. So the 68 is greater.
Oh, I do.
17 times 4, 1 times 48. 17 times 4, 8, 2, 6. It is never okay to beat on anything in this classroom. The theoretical probability of spinning a white is what? 1/8 is less than, so the alligator's not eating it, the experimental of spinning a white. What's the experimental? 5/48. What do I need to do to compare?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. What's 8 times 5?
40.
What's 41 or 48 times 1?
48.
Is this true?
No.
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 The theoretical.
Here, the theoretical is greater.
The theoretical is greater.
Okay, let's move on. Without looking, Carrie selects a number tile from the tiles shown. What is the probability that the tile Carrie selects is showing a prime number? I expect your probability notation to be written as this. Probability of a prime number. A prime number has two factors. One and itself. One is not prime, nor is it composite. It is a unit. What times what gives me 2?
1 times 2.
1 and itself. So this is prime. What times what gives me 3?
1 plus 2.
I'm not adding. I am not adding. What times?
1 times 3.
3 times 1. Anything else? No, so it is prime.
What about
What times what gives me 4?
2 times 2?
So is this something other than 1 in itself?
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is not prime, it is composite.
Oh no, that number 5 is a prime.
5 is prime,
It's an odd number.
not because it's odd. 2 is prime and it's not odd. So that's not true.
6 is in 5.
6 is not.
6 is a prime.
7 is prime.
7 is prime,
8 is not.
8 is not. It is composite. How many prime numbers are there?
1, 2,
1,
3,
2,
4.
3, 4.
4 to 8 is 1/2.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many cards are there altogether?
Oh, 9.
8.
Out of 8.
8.
How is 9?
Simplify.
Oh, right.
Devin purchases a bag of candy-coated chocolates and discovers that out of 32 total candies, 11 are blue, 10 are orange. If Devin selects a chocolate candy at random, what is the probability that the candy will not be blue or orange?
So you take a blue and orange.
P, not blue. Hold on. Or orange. Okay. How many does he have altogether?
32.
32. How many are blue or orange?
21.
How'd you get that?
Add 11 plus
11 plus 10 is 21. So how many are not?
11.
11 are not.
I was right.
Because 11 plus 21 equals 32.
11 plus 21 is 32. They said 10.
Brayden saves coins to redeem for cash. His jar currently contains 14 quarters, 3 dimes, 15 nickels, and 16 pennies. What do I have? Okay, we can read them all, but what do we need to understand? There are plenty of seats in somebody else's classroom for you to occupy. How'd you get that? Yes, that means you're going to leave my room and go sit somewhere else because you cannot handle sitting in here. Okay, show me that you can, don't tell me. What'd you do? You added them all up.